This year I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, 20 years after it debuted on Nickelodeon. Since its release, the show has been regarded by critics as one of the most acclaimed series of the 21st century and one of the greatest animated television series of all time. When I was a child, I also thought it was a really nice series, but I only saw episodes sporadically throughout the 3 seasons. I had never seen the full story. How does that story actually end, was my biggest question all those years. With a Netflix series and a horrible live action movie in the meantime, I thought it's time. Time to watch the entire cartoon series. Some episodes I still remembered, while others were completely new. The final in particular gave me tears in my eyes. So this series really deserves the critical acclaim. I first wanted to rank all the 3 seasons, or the characters, or even the couples, but that would be very difficult because all the seasons are good to great. Is this series still so good after 20 years? Well, let's talk about it. Here are some points of criticism, but all in all, just praise. Avatar is set in fantasy world where some people can manipulate one of the 4 elements: water, earth, fire or air. The only individual who can bend all 4 elements is the Avatar. He is responsible for maintaining harmony among the world's 4 nations. The series follows the journey of 12-year-old Aang, last survivor of his nation, the Air Nomads, along with his friends Katara, Sokka and Toph, as they strive to end the Fire Nation's war against the other nations. The series also follows Zuko, the exiled prince of the Fire Nation, seeking to restore his lost honor. Right away, I love this world. The world is really Asian-like. It is anime and martial arts inspired. 4 nations with their own culture and superpowers, with one that is technologically stronger and therefore wants to subjugate the other 3, fantastic. Also the fact that the Fire Nation itself does not consist entirely of bad people, as we notice throughout the series, is great. That nuance is great and necessary, but that they put this in a children's series is really amazing. Let's talk about some characters. Aang is a bit naive and childish, but has the power to overcome anyone if he believes in himself and his friends. Katara is the mother of the group, a waterbender with a lot of talent. She is Aang's romantic interest and a sweetheart with great powers. Her brother Sokka provides most of the humor and has no magical powers, except for his attraction to women. His relationships with both Yui and Suki are both great, better than Zuko and Mei, or even Aang and Katara. He is very misogynistic to ladies, but eventually he is able to seduce Suki himself. It's also true that Suki puts him in his place. This series tackles feminism without being woke and man-unfriendly. It completely teaches its lesson. Fantastic job. This is how series should approach it more. Toph is a fan favorite. This blind airbender sees with her feet, and that is very creative. I think she's a bit overrated, but she's still very cool. Zuko is the most complex and best enemy in cartoon history, I think, so what more can I say? This outcast prince does everything he can to win his father's favors, but ultimately learns from his uncle and friends that he can be a better person than both his father and sister, and chooses the side of the good guys. His sister Azula is just a crazy bitch. I thought she was a bit overpowered at first, but later we see more of the psyche behind it, and that helps her character too. Her friends May and Ty Lee are also very nice. Ty Lee is just a cutie who fights for the wrong war, and May is so amusingly sarcastic. Iroh always balances the wise old man and the crazy uncle, and he is certainly worth his place in the pantheon of great characters. Even the animals Appa and Momo I like. Most episodes are must-see because even the filler episodes are very useful for world building and character development. I can agree with the mountains of praise that everyone always gives to this series, but I'm also going to nitpick today. I would personally increase the ages of the characters. The idea that Aang as an 11-year-old experiences these complex adventures and battles is still understandable because he is the Avatar, but this extends to Katara, Sokka, Toph, Zuko, Azula and beyond. The romantic relationships in this series also suffer from this. It's a bit cringy to see these kids walking around with these feelings. This would be easy to solve. Draw all their ages to between 16 and 21 years old. Another point of criticism is that Avatar The Last Airbender makes a big deal of the fact that Aang has to kill the Fire Lord, only to ultimately not kill him in the final, but take away his powers, a force that we did not see before and seems to come from nowhere. After more thought, I think both Ozai and Azula get a gruesome fate without dying, and thus get their comeuppance. Especially the cries of the defeated and whining Azula, who has lost everything and cannot accept this, go through her very soul. Really amazing. The final battle between Aang and Ozai is also great, as is the one between Zuko and Katara versus Azula. But who am I kidding? Avatar The Last Airbender is by far the best TV show ever made. And I'm glad the writers didn't rush into making more seasons that would compromise the quality. This series only has 3 seasons, but all 3 are almost perfect, and the series never had the chance to deteriorate. Oh, so many series can learn from that. Because this was so much fun for me to do, I would like to watch more kids shows as an adult, and I plan to do more of these shows from my youth. The ideas at the moment are Ben 10 and Kim Possible, but I'll see if I do them or not. And I've never seen an episode of The Legend of Korra, spiritual sequel to Avatar The Last Airbender, so no nostalgia there, but I'll probably see that someday too. But until then, bye bye.